You're listening to the Incomparables Total Party Kill podcast, in which a group of friends play role-playing games on the internet for your amusement. This is episode 148, posted August 2018, Gamma World Part 9, Roll Dump Truck.
Well, Gamma Nerds, welcome back to Gamma World. I'm your Game Master, Tony Sindelar. Our adventure continues through the wild and weird wastes of the Gamma World post-apocalyptic setting. Let's meet our players as the adventure continues. First, in the list, alphabetically and in our hearts, it's Aline Sims as Atifa
thank you.
Alvar. Hi, Aline.
Hi.
Second, alphabetically, it's Micah Sargent as Bobobob Joe. Alphabetically by character name. So.
And
Okay,
hello.
I was like, what?
Yeah, I didn't know where that alphabet was going.
Yeah.
Hello.
Mm-hmm. And second, the robot that we always have, Erica Ensign, SC84. You know, I feel like professional people probably think these things out ahead of time. I just start talking. That's the difference.
I think I'm going to put that on my business cards. The robot we always have.
And last, both alphabetically in terms of character name and terms of type of character, it's Whiting with a W, V for vampire, cat. If you'd opened with cat, you could have been higher up alphabetically. And Whiting is played by Brian Hamilton. Hi, Brian.
Where am I in your heart, Tony?
I keep
The
vampires.
left ventricle.
I keep vampires
complicated.
at a distance from my heart. It's just sound reasoning.
That's
that
just
way.
common sense.
Yeah,
I can't blame you.
Yeah. And I'm not really a cat person, so, you know, that's like a double whammy on you as a vampire cat. So, Whoa. So,
Was that a house cat?
referencing knowledge.
Yes.
Legally distinct. So,
Oh, it was an apartment cat.
yeah. Well, I mean, I think the house cat is also an apartment cat. They live in New York, right? So, got all this out. So
No, this is gold. This is gold.
I believe that our intrepid group of adventurers is still completely intact, which is pretty impressive by Gamma World standards. And you have been investigating the source of a series of robots that has been threatening your home. And you traveled to a badger den, or as they're known in Gamma World, batters, because they're mean badgers. And beneath the batter den, you've stumbled upon the remains of a robot factory from the time before. And entering the Stupendico robot factory, you did battle with a variety of protective robots and talked at least one robot to death or disassembly. I don't really know how are robots alive? That's
Yes.
a different podcast.
This android says yes.
Yes.
I would like to clarify something.
Yes.
The reason they're called batters is because they're delicious dipped in batter and fried. Tasty.
I think it's like batter, like with two D's, BADD.
Oh, buddy, that's
Because
what you think,
because
but you'd be wrong.
They're
You know,
badder
like-
than badgers. They're even worse.
Due to the radiation in Gamma World, things fluctuate and evolve quickly, language being one of them. So, what might have been commonly known as a badger but a few hours ago could be a batter by the end of the session. It's just how things work here in Gamma World. You know, we try not to get too affixed to labels.
Everything's mutating.
Yeah, everything's in flux. So, you know, what could be a robot today could be a cyborg tomorrow, could be, you know, a 12-legged spider person the next day. It's just how things roll.
A sandwich can be a taco tomorrow. Who knows?
Yeah.
Oh no, is a sandwich a taco? Is a taco a sandwich?
I can tell you this sandwich is not a taco, but I'm not going to comment on the other one because I'm, you know, that could be used against me when I start my political career later.
Yeah.
Exactly. I have no strong opinions about anything controversial.
Just like a politician.
Just like it. But we're not here to talk politics. We're here to
Talk about a nuclear wasteland, which is exactly the same
robots.
thing.
Yeah. Let us escape from our horrible world in which we live by escaping to a horrible world in which we are weird creatures
Don't live.
navigating the wastelands. So,
Killing robots.
I don't remember exactly where we left off last time, but I have you hanging out on the Stupendico assembly floor, which is kind of the entryway into the the robot factory. Did we do anything other than that? I think we did do the cleanup at the end of last session successfully, so people have some on Megatech, and they figured out which things may have expired, and etc.
Yep.
Yes.
I think were we investigating the door to the south, or
That sounds familiar. I think that sounds sounds familiar. E84. Do you all want to move yourselves in the direction? So there's many side rooms off of this main assembly floor as you were exploring, as you were investigating robots, and their robots were popping up through little hatches in the floor. But there is just basically opposite the main entryway that you came in, another relatively large-looking vault-like door to the south of all of you. That it looks like, there were a lot of robots stationed around it previously. Before now, they're just ex-robots scattered in pieces about the floor.
Have we thoroughly searched all of these rooms now that the robots were dead? I don't know if we took time to do that after.
I believe you did,
fight.
and that's where you scrounged your Omega Tech that you got last time, I think. I admit I did not, because these episodes haven't posted, I haven't listened to what happened, so that's
Tiny
always
one.
the tricky thing of, yeah. But I'm hoping we did that successfully. If not, someone will write to us and say, several months ago when you were playing Gamma World, you did a thing wrong.
So we'll be like, we were playing Gamma World?
Yeah.
No, we won't, because we'll still be playing.
Yeah. All right.
So what kind of controls does this have here?
There is a control panel next to the door, and E84. I'm going to tell you, you have successfully navigated the main door into the Stupendico robot facility. You've built up some expertise with these, and your science skill is amazing, right? What is it? It's plus many?
12.
Plus 12. I don't think you need to roll for this. You can open this door whenever you feel like it.
All right. Then I'm going to check with my companions and be like, would you like to plan something for opening this door, or should I just open it? Meaning move your characters to where you want them to be.
Okay. I can take a hint.
So, I think I have to be sort of right where I am because that's in front of the control panel.
Indeed.
But I suggest maybe, not standing right in front of the open door, just in case a giant robot rolls through.
I'm running over here. No, I'm running way back here.
So everybody's getting back. I'll be right here.
All right.
I'm better ranged, so...
All right, so it looks like E84 is right by the door, but kind of tucked in an alcove to the side of the door.
Can I
everybody
reach
else is a good
from
20...
over here?
Sure. Everybody else is a good 20 to 30 to maybe even 40 feet back from the door, perhaps taking cover behind some equipment.
Whiting.
Whiting is possibly leaving the robot facility in search of other
take him 2
adventures in
turns to
Gamma
get
World
back.
as he... scoots further and further from the door.
If we
Cats,
enter
man, you can't
combat,
trust
you're going to
them.
be so far away.
All right, E84, you ready?
I am ready, so I beep boop boop open the door.
All right, the giant vault door kind of creaks, and then Iris is open, revealing a rather boring-looking hallway beyond. Some kind of fluorescent lights in the ceiling flicker on. A couple of the bulbs are out. It's got that kind of cheap 70s wood paneling, tile floor, and
Nice.
there are some signs. It looks like fashioned on the wall down ahead, but it looks pretty much like an office hallway.
Talk
Do they look
about
to be-
anticlimactic.
Do there look to be any traps of any sort, like invisible-ish beams across the way? I woke up paranoid this morning.
You can't see
lasers.
any invisible beams.
I said invisible-ish.
Ish. Okay. I will tell
Have you seen
you,
infrared?
you do not see any invisible beams.
All right. Well,
Unfortunately,
I feel like I have-
E84 only sees an ultraviolet, so all of my traps will be infrared.
I have gone first a lot lately, and that has not gone well for me. So I am going to wait here until somebody else goes.
Everybody
I'll go.
is at full health because
Right, that's true. Because I realize I have a pretty high AC, but my fortitude is quite low. And that many things that we have encountered have attacked fortitude, and that has been unfun.
Whiting walks right on by and goes in through the door.
All right.
Whiting, who is all the way back in another
Right.
room.
Yep.
Suddenly
Scurries
very
forward.
It seems
confident.
safe enough.
With
Are you being
vampire
smart,
cat like.
Whiting?
Whiting is the cattiest cat that I've ever catted.
He's also pretty vampy, so you know.
It is.
Yeah. Waiting, your little claws clack on the tile floor as you head down the hallway. There are a bunch of signs on the hallway that say "Access Restricted" and "Display ID Badge." Access restricted, and "Are you sure you belong here?" Things like that. Some of them have a lot of fine print.
Do I remember the robots we killed having any ID badges?
The robots definitely did not have any lanyards or ID badges.
Okay, damn. There weren't any in the lab coats that we were given.
There are visitor badges.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, and they don't have your name on them or anything because that would be weird.
It would be.
We've been waiting for you.
Yeah, there was a prophecy.
I guess we should continue cautiously, but we should stop every now and then to sort of like look around and.
Okay,
I agree.
The hallway's about 200 feet, and then it looks like it has a turn to it, a left turn.
Ooh, those left turns, they're pretty sneaky.
That's how they get you.
Maybe we should. Maybe Whiting, being our stealth cat, should peek around the corner without being seen.
And I'm going to say, Whiting, the
I'll
rest of you are just still standing in the robot factory floor. Whiting has gone on ahead. Or at least a little bit.
I can stealth all around and see if there's anything interesting that can be seen while I am also not seen.
All right. Ooh. Whiting, do you want to roll some kind of perception-y, looking about skill? Roll dice.
What I'd like to do is stealth, so I can
roll stealth.
That.
And then roll looking about.
Looking about. Yeah. Thank you, Eric.
All right, that's an 18 stealth.
All right, you are
And
like a
13
vampire cat
perception.
in the night. And a what?
A 13 perception.
Okay. Whiting, you are moving very quietly. You're not clacking on the tiles. And you notice about halfway down the large hallway, it's not particularly concealed, but it's also not particularly obvious. There's some kind of hatch in the ceiling of the hallway.
Ooh.
The ceiling.
Yeah.
Well, we are.
Hey,
picking
everybody,
cat
I
at this
found
point,
a hatch. Oh, mind Skype. Hey, everybody, I found a hatch.
Or a panel or a door. There's some kind of irregularity in the surface of the ceiling that looks like it might have a moving part.
It's been my experience.
It could be
hatches in the ceiling result in things falling out of them to attack people.
It could be the other side of a trapdoor. Who am I to call it a hatch? That's very reductive of me.
I could try to open up the hatch, or at the very least kind of look around it and see, like investigate, maybe open it and see if anything is about to fall out. I can close it very, very quickly.
Please tell
what say
Whiting
y'all?
not to do this via mind Skype. Since I can't.
So what do you think? Should I do this?
You do that and you're going to be covered in a pile of gross spiders, I'm convinced.
Or goo. It could be goo.
Or goo.
true.
All of those things are really good for my fur, though. God,
Really? Spiders?
come on.
Spiders are good for your fur?
They groom him.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know
I'm
how
a vampire
I don't,
cat.
Yeah, I don't know how vampire
It's like
cats work.
those birds that clean hippopotami teeth for
Oh
you.
yeah.
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 It does make sense. I suggest
Yeah, spiders
we
are
move down
just
the
like
hall
birds.
and help Whiting investigate.
Hey, Whiting, E84 says, I suggest we move down the hall and help Whiting. How was my E84 impression? Very good, right?
Never change. Bob.
It was okay. It was okay. Leave the roboting to the robot.
Very well.
Your name isn't Bot.
Oh, E84 has jokes. I'm so impressed.
He made a funny.
I start clomping down the hallway.
All right.
I probably don't clomp. I'm not that heavy. But
You progress
Yes.
down the hallway.
I will follow
I will go as
E84.
well.
All right. So you're all heading in the direction of Whiting, and so you arrive there.
hooray!
Storytelling.
We did it.
All right. So, can I make a? What's the equivalent of dungeoneering in this game to sort of check out the hatch / trapdoor and see is that a sciencey thing? Is that mechanics? Mechanics is to manipulate something. Mm-hmm. So
Maybe perception?
I think probably just perception to study it.
sure.
Do you want to get like close to it, or are you looking at it from a distance? What's going on
I'm
here?
afraid there's
From a distance. I'm
distance
stopping
panel.
wherever Whiting was.
All right.
So that's only a 6 on perception. So
Looks like there's something in the ceiling.
There's probably
All right,
a pressure plate on the floor.
Yeah, I would also like to investigate like the floor near it. Like if I was going to plan a trap of some sort for things the spiders say to drop out from a hatch above, I would probably
kind of
put a
spider
trigger
trap?
mechanism on the floor, or an invisible beam, an
Sure.
invisible-ish beam,
Yep.
something like that. Oh dear, 2.
You do not see an invisible-ish beam.
Well,
Okay.
I'm going to roll.
I suggest we approach.
19 plus perception, which is 1, so 20.
What were you trying to do, Bob?
I am perceiving the floor
You
with
do not.
my mind
The
parts.
floor seems the same as the rest of the floor. There does not seem to be anything kind of obvious, or even, I mean, you rolled pretty good. There does not even seem to be anything non-obvious in terms of a pressure plate or any changes in the surface of the floor. It looks like it's all pretty intact, cheap tile flooring.
Is there anything?
It's a,
there's
it's a little
nothing-
dirty too.
I have
about
an
the ceiling?
idea. I would like to take my toy dump truck
Okay.
and roll it across the length of the floor.
Okay. Are you going to do that?
I'd
I
like
am
this.
going to do that. Is there any specific skill you'd like me to use? To do
Roll
so?
dump truck.
Very well.
That's exactly what he's going to do.
Now, I have been playing with my dump truck this whole time.
You have
we've
been
playing
building
this game.
up. This was
my
eternal.
skills.
We did not know that how much foreshadowing that was.
Totally
So,
canon.
can I get a
100%
plus
canon.
something, please?
Yeah, I'd say, I mean, I don't even know what you're rolling, but I would say you'd get a +5 at least to it.
All right, that's going to be 12 plus 5, which is 17.
All right. You kind of, you move it back and forth a little bit. Like, it doesn't have one of those things where it revs up, but like, you're building up. Yeah. And you
Yeah.
scoot the dump truck and it rolls pretty far down the hall and hits the far wall where the hallway does a left turn. And you hear something like starting to whir in the ceiling where the hatch, in the direction of the hatch. And the hatch opens.
Well, sounds great to me. What do you say we open the hatch?
The hatch opens on its own. And
Oh, great. It already
Spiders
listened to
fall
me.
out.
a little kind of cantilevered arm drops out of the hatch and opens up. And there is a kind of a glowing screen on the end of this little telescoping arm. And there's just kind of an ASCII art frowny face there that says, "Access denied. This area is restricted."
We're in the same episode of Doctor Who that we've been in this whole time.
It's totally smile. Can I roll a science from this distance to sort of see what I can figure out about that thing
Okay, sure.
with a different die because my rolls have been sucking? Let's try this one. Oh, that's much better. So that would be 23.
This appears to be some kind of simple security AI that's simply announcing that you are not allowed to go here, and perhaps it is now aware of your presence in the hallway. I would say that E84...
Oh, so you think it's aware of us, not just the dump truck?
I think by being triggered by the dump truck rolling past, it has activated and is now aware of the presence of several life forms in the hallway.
Got it.
E84, you're pretty experienced with science, and you could probably interact with this simple AI if you so chose.
I could, but my interaction is not great.
I have a
just
plus
wanna-
9 to interaction. Can I?
Maybe
Can I
between the
scoot
two
up
of
there?
us,
We talked
you
down
can-
that door before. We could
Yeah,
probably...
you can do the talking, and I can go science, 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 science.
Sure. I think between
can
the
tell
two
it
of you,
that-
like one kind of handling the interaction and one handling the technical aspect of it, you would be a pretty good take down an artificial intelligence that's guarding a hallway team.
Okay, all right.
But it's up to you.
Don't
I don't know
let me
how
down.
you can deal with this however you see fit.
No, I like that idea. Let's approach,
Okay, I'm approaching, and I got a 15
go
to
with.
interaction.
and I will roll my science. Ooh, I rolled a 20, which makes that a 32.
All right.
So
Holy
Wow.
moly.
Whiting standing in the background, filing their nails.
So, E84, I think you would probably know how to science your way into activating some kind of interactive mode on this AI that would make it willing to accept verbal command prompts, or at least be able to communicate with it, which would probably set Atifa up for whatever she's going to try and do, is my thinking.
All right.
Does that sound consistent with what you hope to do?
Yep.
Cool.
Sure.
Yeah, there's like there's no keyboard on this thing because it's just a glowing screen, but you find like a little port in the back that's probably supposed to be for, installing updates on it, and you totally plug one of your little fingers into it and reset it into some debug mode where you can do this.
Awesome. And then throughout throughout the conversation that I assume is about to occur, I will, if I notice anything where I feel like there's a sciencey way to, I know machines will react in this manner.
You could influence it a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Point her in the right direction or mechanically influence.
Sounds great. Atifa.
Okay, so while E84 is doing this, I'm mindscaping with Bobobob and Whiting and saying, what is our goal here? Like, do we want to continue down the hallway? Do we want to run away? Like, what do we want to do?
I am a fan of, at the very least, convincing it that we're not a threat, even though we very much are. Try maybe.
I don't think, just for machine purposes, I don't think that it necessarily sees us as a threat. I just think it sees us as something that's not supposed to be here.
Right.
So we need to go away, according to it.
Okay.
It's programming.
So my main goal, of course, is was recovering my dump truck. But after that, I don't mind.
Of course it is.
I don't mind taking a trip down that hallway just to see what we might find. It seems like a good place to go rather than that place where we almost were killed by insects and flying things.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm going to approach the robot a little bit more and just say, "Hey, we're supposed to be here. Can we get past? I don't know what the mix-up is here."
You do not appear to be an authorized tour guide. Please return to the lobby and wait for an authorized tour guide. This area is restricted.
Our tour guide actually told us to come down this hallway, so can we just get past?
That is not advised. The areas beyond are where we house our most secret and dangerous weapons here at Stupendico Robot Facilities. Please turn around. Your death may be unfortunate.
It may not be unfortunate. We don't know.
Please proceed to the lobby and wait for an authorized Stupendico tour guide.
No, our tour guide told us to come here.
That is very unusual for a tour guide to do.
It is unusual, but we're pretty important. We're pretty special, so we need to get through so we can kind of inspect everything, make sure it's up to code.
Please provide evidence of your visitor badges and signed waivers of liability. Now arming defense protocols should you not comply. E84, the system seems to be arming a variety of weaponry built into this hallway.
Is that something, since I'm plugged into it, that I would be able to sort of massage the ones and zeros to make it think that we have presented this information?
I don't know if you could
badges,
I don't know if you could do that, but I bet you could make it think that there's something wrong with all the defense systems built into the hallway. Do you want to roll a quick science for that?
Yeah.
I
wish you could do that in real life. Just roll a science and solve a problem.
That's a 30.
All right.
Whoa.
You, though there is, as far as you can tell, E84, absolutely nothing wrong with the various countermeasures in this hallway. There's a variety of laser turrets built into the wall further down. You put them into some kind of maintenance mode where they will not activate. Mm-hmm. The artificial intelligence seems to be kind of stuck trying to reboot those over and over. You know that until you take action, those are going to be offline indefinitely.
So we can just walk on past.
I will shake my head and say to the artificial intelligence, this is exactly why we are here. This type of thing would not have happened if you would have had your inspections updated on time.
We all nod our heads, just like...
You all nod your heads.
Told you.
This situation...
I hate to say I told you so, but it's actually my favorite thing.
This situation is outside of the bounds of my programming. Please wait while I transfer you to my manager.
I think we should get out of here.
Do I
before
have
the
any
manager
idea
comes.
about how long that might take? Should we just do I think we have time to just skedaddle? Or
As you ponder that,
Can you disable the communications?
No, wait, no, not as you ponder
Let's go,
that.
let's just go,
I
let's just go.
have a really high athletic skill, and I want to just go run and just rip the thing off, rip the part that has a webcam or whatever the crap it is to see us. I'm taking it down. I'm gonna try to pull it out of its little holster in the ceiling.
All right.
Here we go.
Roll athletics.
That is 15.
All right. Bobobob jumps forward and manages to. There's kind of a little camera mounted on the side of this display, and you just tear it right off of the display. The display blips from the face of the kind of ASCII art face of the artificial intelligence you had a brief conversation with, to more of a security cam view of it looks like some kind of factory type space within the Stupendico robot facility, and you see a kind of grumpy looking rabbit looking creature seated in a chair, kind of furiously punching keys on some kind of terminal next to him. The rabbit has not turned to look out through the display at all of you yet.
I put my finger to my lips.
I would like to go to the end of the hallway and get my dump truck, please.
Okay. You scoot past the glowing screen and head to the end of the hallway. None of the laser turrets mounted into the walls activate, and you recover your dump truck. Congratulations.
All right, once I see that, which way is this screen facing? Is it facing towards from the way we came, or can you is it holographic? We can see it from any side?
Nope, it's just like a big LCD screen on a little telescoping arm. It was facing the direction that you came from, back toward the lobby. So Bobobob is safely behind it now,
Okay.
further down the hallway. You're right next to it, E84, and Atifa and Whiting, you were somewhere facing it.
Because I'm interested in sort of keeping an eye on it, but I also kind of just want to go down the hallway and follow Bob. Is it sort of on a spring like my microphone? Can I just spin it around so as we retreat down the hallway? Because I know it can't see us because
It can't
the
see
camera
you
is
now.
down. So if possible, I would like to basically just turn it 180 degrees so that I can sort of follow my companions back down the hallway, but we can still see what the grumpy rabbit is doing.
Okay, and so you do that.
All right.
The grumpy rabbit seems to have noticed something going on his side of the thing, and is tapping on the screen. Is this
All right.
Is this on? What's going on? Why is everything here broken? Says the grumpy rabbit.
I keep my finger to my lips and I just motion that everybody,
Carlos, wake up! I think we have something that you need to check out.
Oh, what is a Carlos?
I am not being melodramatic, Carlos. Do your job.
Maybe we can just ambush Carlos when he comes.
The rabbit
through.
begins typing furiously on some kind of terminal.
All right. So what is at the end of this hall then? Is there a door or does it turn?
There is a turn and there is another door. So if you go around the corner, you will no longer be within view of the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go through the door, I think.
Or at least listen at it. I'd like to wait at this corner and keep an eye on the screen.
Okay.
Actually, somebody else should do that. Somebody who can actually speak via mind Skype.
I'll keep an eye on the screen.
All right.
Okay.
Atifa, where are you in all this?
I'll go with E84, but I want to be, a couple paces back.
Okay.
I think somebody should listen at the door to see if they can hear the the typing from the other side. Is this the room with the rabbit, or is this a completely different room? Or we not there yet?
And Whiting, what are you up to?
I'm waiting at the door for anything that may happen with the door.
Okay.
Okay.
Since I can't actually say that out loud without making noise, I'll just do I'll do little hand to the ear, listening sound, and then rabbit ears, and then point to the door.
Oh, yeah, good idea.
If you're just joining us, you're tuning in for Robot Charades featuring E84.
So Whiting's going to listen at the door?
Yes.
Excellent.
All right. Atifa, did you have something you wanted to do?
Nope. I just want to be here and ready in case something attacky happens.
It's just an honor to be here.
All right.
Truly.
E84, are you still looking at the screen? I forget who's looking at the screen.
No, it's
Bobobob.
Joe.
At some point, the rabbit reaches over and seems to be fiddling with the screen, and it turns off.
Okay. Now we don't have to worry about the screen anymore. This is great.
Whiting, you do not hear anything at the vault-like door that you're listening at.
Can I do a perception check to hear what's on the other side of the door?
Sure. Go for it.
That is a 12.
You do not hear anything. It occurs to you that all of the rather impressive vault-like doors in the Stupendico robot facility, in addition to providing some level of security, probably dampen a lot of sound too.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Does this have another panel to open it as with the previous doors?
They all
is this
do.
just like okay. All right.
More AI?
No, this is just a terminal.
Okay. Do I need to roll for this one? Is it more complicated than the last one, or is this
Nope.
one I can just open?
You can just open.
All right. So I guess I'll say everybody to, I'll motion, take whatever positions. Like,
All right. I'm going to move you to
I'd like to
another
go
map.
immediately behind E84 in battle ready position.
Duke's up.
all right. So which side of the door is the terminal on?
Which side do you want it to be on?
Well, the previous one was. I'll just put myself where the previous one was. I feel
Okay.
like they would match.
This is a little bit trickier because it's a narrow hallway. So,
I see.
yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. So
Yeah.
it was on the right side of the door in the previous one, so that's where I will go.
Bob, I'm going to say that you can't be there because there's the hallway. The map doesn't quite show it, but imagine that there's a, here.
So it's just 2 squares wide.
It's 2 squares wide.
Hallway.
Yeah. So, hallway.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So there's not any convenient nooks to hide behind here because the door is basically as big as the hallway.
Okay. I will look back at my companions and kind of go and wait for somebody to tell me they're ready via Mind Skype.
Thumbs up.
All right. Okay. Then I will open the door.
All right. You open the door. No, that's
The papers are rustling.
everything's great. I just need to read something.
There's a very interesting memo here.
Yeah, I'm just, my mom sent me an email. Just going to take some time out of the game to read this.
Mom sent you a paper
printed
email.
Printed it out.
And then you stuck it in a binder and now you're looking for it.
I like
adorable.
to respect the time and energy my mom takes to write these emails, and I print them before I read them. There's nothing
Oh, it's-
weird about that.
Steven's old boss at his last job used to send Steven an email, and then he would also print out the email and put it on Steven's chair.
I can't.
Oh my
I
Lord.
cannot.
On his chair?
I have heard.
Yes.
I have heard worse things. I can't even joke about this stuff, people.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was
On
he was
his
actually happy to get laid off.
Yeah. Do not put your paper on my chair, you turkey.
Yeah. I used to know a group of math faculty members who had dedicated secretaries who printed and then would type up the written responses to all emails because they did not do email. This was in 2008.
Good golly.
So yeah,
Bless.
good times. Yeah.
So anyway, what's that email
10 years
from
a
your
hell
mom
of a
say?
drug. In this email that my mom says, she describes the room beyond.
Wow.
So your mom's doing all this. She's
pretty
the
cool.
real game master.
Yeah, twist. So there is an immense cavern-like room beyond, and the first thing you notice about it is that the floor slopes down toward the middle of the room on both sides. There's kind of a trench, and lighting up that trench is a grid of lasers. On the other side of the grid of lasers is a rabbit-like creature, though different from the rabbit-like creature you saw on the screen, holding a rather impressive-looking sniper rifle, flanked by 2 floating robots that look slightly more menacing than all the robots you've seen before. Allow me to show you what this looks like on a
We should
map.
not have opened this door.
I
Wow.
could close it.
Just.
The
Oh
rabbit,
my gosh, it's Carlos.
Carlos the Hoop Sharpshooter.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's a name.
So far across the chamber from you is a rabbit. He looks a little bit more kind of relaxed and chill than the grumpy rabbit you saw on the screen. He's got a variety of kind of post-apocalyptic gear on him. His ears are kind of tucked back with like a headband. he has an impressive-looking sniper rifle that he's holding, and he loads a clip into it and kind of smiles as he sees the door open. You can make out kind of a distinctive skull and crossbones tattoo on his arm, which is a little confusing because tattoos, when you're covered with fur, is strange. But
I know.
that's what he's
Kill
got.
the wabbit. Kill the wabbit.
I say, hello, I am sorry we are late.
Carlos pulls the thing back in his sniper rifle, loading it round, and lifts the gun up to look through the sights. I suggest that you roll initiative.
Rawr.
I feel like we're in like a spy movie, a comedy spy movie. We're all
I'm glad you
Comedy
feel that
spy
way.
movie set in the apocalypse. I love it.
Let's see.
I would watch that.
That's not my worst roll ever.
Kill the wabbit.
You all can see the giant laser grid, right? I just want to make sure that that's...
I don't know what you're
don't
talking
see a
about, Tony.
laser
What?
grid. What laser grid?
All right.
Can you ask your mom to describe it again? I'm a little confused.
Yeah.
You know, when I read emails from my mom, I read them in her voice.
I'm not going to do an impression of my mom. It's unkind. Yeah, so the middle of this room is kind of there's kind of a trench that both sides slope down toward, and there's just lasers, kind of gouging paths in the floor over and over again, flickering light. Looks like there might be some singed remains of some people down there too, that there's not a lot left of them. But yeah, so there's a grid of lasers sweeping back and forth, overlapping. Looks like it would make it pretty difficult to progress through there.
So you say the floor. Yeah, same question. How steep is it? How sloped is it?
It's like a 45-degree angle.
Okay, so we can still walk on it.
It would be challenging.
Okay. And where does
It
that
would be. Let
slope
me just say,
start? Is it
It would be real easy to just slide right into those lasers. Is what I'm saying.
Ouch.
where does the slope start? Is that first sort of
The first there's like a level part of the room that's
Okay.
Do you see
I
this?
think I
There's a
can
little
tell.
bit of shading.
Yep.
I can draw a line if that helps.
No, I think it looks like it's the first set of squares and then two squares in the middle on the second row. Okay. Looking at the lasers, at the places where they come out of the wall on the left and the right, do there appear to be any sort of like mechanical bits, or are they just literally coming out of holes in the wall?
There are some mechanical bits. You'd have to get real close to a laser to get to them.
Are they? I mean, is it on both sides? They seem to be about the same, or does it look
and
like
the
one
ceiling
side is?
and
Okay.
and yeah.
Okay. All
So,
right.
did you all put in your initiative?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Let me.
I have very little in the way of ranged attacking.
All right. Well, Carlos the Hoop, which is a Gamma World name for the strange rabbit-like creatures that occasionally inhabit Gamma World. Carlos the Hoop gets to go first. He pulls the trigger on his impressive-looking sniper rifle, and I think he's going to aim for E84 because E84 is in the front. E84, 18 versus AC sounds pretty bad.
Not for me. My
Oh,
AC's
okay.
a 19.
Oh, well, good for you. The bullet clangs and ricochets off of your impressive robot armor. Carlos,
Although I can see that he only rolled a 9 to get that, so I think we might be in trouble.
you didn't see that. E84 didn't see that. Yeah. So Carlos kind of growls a little bit in his little rabbit voice.
What an adorable little growl. It's almost a purr.
Well, Atifa, you are next. I will tell you, Atifa,
So
you
I am.
notice Carlos has a little bit of cover. He's standing behind. There's a little console in front of him. Seems like that might be just, from what you've explored so far in these strange factory facilities. But you suspect that might have something to do with the laser grid.
Oh, where is that?
It's right in front of Carlos.
Okay. Oh, okay. I see it now. Yep.
It's so there's a similar platform on the far side of the room that is not sloped, but both sides of the room slope down toward the middle of the laser grid.
Gotcha.
All right. Well, I've got to move in closer.
Yep. So you step into the room onto the platform.
I don't like it.
Not yet
Don't like it.
onto the slopey part, but
I think I might actually attack a rocket bot instead of Carlos.
yeah. So these there's two
Or the,
floating
or the
robots next to
camera.
Carlos,
Console. Oh.
and they both of the floating robots look like they've got rather impressive rocket launchers mounted to them.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Okay.
these look substantially more menacing than the robots you fought in the foyer that just kind of zapped
Maybe
at you.
hit the bots.
The console idea is a good one. I only do psychic damage though,
Oh,
so although I do have a gun, so
Pew pew.
yeah.
Does psychic damage do anything to bots? Did we determine that last
We
time? right?
determined that it will. Yeah.
Yes, it would probably be hard to intimidate a console with psychic damage. I will roll, but
Everything's AI
right.
here, though.
So
some of the doors were just doors. You know, there
Sometimes the
are
door
a
is just a
preponderance of
door.
annoying artificial intelligences in this facility, but some of the doors are just a door. So
All right, I'm
Atifa,
just reading up on fear manifested.
Yeah,
here.
I'm going to check out my Omega Tech. What do I got here?
Oh yeah.
oh, you know the other thing that
Everybody-
happens. I forgot how this game works.
Alpha mutations.
Oh, right.
Thanks for the reminder. As
you're welcome.
as Carlos's round bounces off E84, everybody feels that just familiar surge of adrenaline.
tingle.
Including E84 gets like an adrenalism method gets called. And it's time for some mutations. And again, I'll send you these things. Feel free to, I think it's kind of fun if you don't just tell us mechanically what it does until you're actually using it. But, whatever you want to do. Micah's going to get one first. And these are random, so they may or may not be helpful, as is the way Gamma World works.
I love that he says that, so that means mine's probably... What?
I didn't even read it yet, Micah, so I don't know. Brian, you
That's
got
promising.
one. Aline gets one.
Okay, good. An enemy. Good. Okay.
Okay. I don't know.
Oh, all right.
And I gotta find Erica here. And Erica gets one.
How scared should I be? All right, here we go.
All right, so Atifa, how's it going?
I need to read my alpha mutation.
Yeah, take a second. We'll edit all this out unless somebody says something funny.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh. Wow.
Man, I kind of wish I would have had this before.
Does anyone want to?
Before I got shot
Do any
at.
of your mutations have kind of physical characteristics that might be immediately obvious to your colleagues, or no?
Yeah.
How far away am I?
So what's happening over there, Bob?
My name is Mud.
Oh,
Bob Mud.
You're a walking mudslide.
What?
The ground has the consistency of mud around me. But here's the good thing. Whenever an enemy ends its turn adjacent to me, it is restrained. So y'all are fine, but you're standing in a mudslide.
and that makes sense.
you're looking good, Bob.
You've done some kind of controlling of the elements before, right?
Yes, I am partially an earth creature.
Yeah,
Creature of
so
earth and
like
stone.
I think you're still an earth creature, but perhaps like your consistency has morphed a little bit. Yeah, some
I'm
of
a little more sloppy.
yeah, you're now not Bob, but blah blah blah.
Bravo!
Yes.
I would award you an inspiration die, but we don't do that in this one.
It's hard for me. You probably don't want to award the game
No, we
master
don't want to do
inspiration.
that to the
That's
DM.
tactically
Fair.
unsound.
All right.
You good, Atifa?
Yeah, I think so. So, all right. So I'm going with fear manifested. And that is 6 plus 6 is 12 plus my alpha mutation actually gives me a +2 power bonus. So that's 14 versus will.
Good.
on the rocket bot on the top.
All right, let me just give you guys distinct names so that it's going to be less confusing. That is now Rocketbot A, and that will be Rocketbot B. Can you see the names?
Yes.
I have the yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. I will tell you that was a great choice because the will on a robotic sentry continues to be their lowest defense by far. Heavily shielded, quick, nimble on their little thrusters, but their little artificial intelligence is not that impressive. So you manifest inside that rocket bot like its deepest, darkest fear. Is that what's happening?
Yes.
Okay. The rocket bot says in a squeaky little robot voice, "Oh no, Y2K!" And what happens to him?
It takes 10 psychic damage.
All right. 10 psychic damage to the rocket bot.
The card says you gain a +2 power bonus to attack rolls into all defenses until the end of my next turn. Mm-hmm. In addition, I shift 3 squares and take a standard action. Does that mean I get to hit again? Or does that just mean I activated the power and that was my standard action and now I'm done?
I don't know. I think you get to do another standard action because I think it's called accelerated reflexes, right? Mm-hmm. So I think the idea is you're very fast.
Okay.
Wait, let me just read this a second.
Okay. It does say it's a free action, so it sounds like I would get I would get 2 standards, but
I would guess.
It's
does it say
little
free
ambiguous.
action?
It does. It underneath, so it's got the green bar
Yep.
and then the brownish bar and then a mustard colored.
All right, yeah, I think you were like, this is like you're a speedster right now. So you zip forward, use fear effect, and then are zipping away. So you could move if you want. I think you get another standard action.
Okay. So I'm just going to shift 1 square if that's okay, if I can. Mm-hmm. So I can make room for my fine friends. And I'm
the other
gonna
thing, did you look at the overcharge, which would potentially allow you to keep using this?
I'm afraid of being stunned until the end of my next turn. I think I'll go for it.
All right.
I have my lucky dice. So I'll do that and then the standard, or should I do the standard and then overcharge?
Technically, I think you do the overcharge at the beginning, but whatever. Okay. It'll work out.
I rolled a 15.
All right. So
yay!
So for a short amount of time, Atifa gets basically a bonus standard action.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Shot of adrenaline. Okay. All right. So I'm going to do fear manifested at Rocketbot A again.
Okay. That's just an at will? You can keep doing that, right?
Yes.
Cool. All right.
And I moved my dice, so I don't know. I got a natural 20. I got a natural 20.
Oh, that means something happens.
I forget what happens.
For me, it's when you score a crit, you deal 1d10 extra damage, and the target grants combat advantage until the end of the encounter.
What does
it's
your...
just regaining... an ally can gain hit points, but nobody's...
Oh, that's right.
Ooh. Okay.
That's too bad.
Okay, so that's a natural 20 versus Will.
So you'll hit.
And that is 13 psychic damage.
I forget. Do we know in Gamma World, is your damage just maxed out when you roll a crit the way it is in D&D?
I do not know.
I don't know why they would have altered, made that different.
Because what would max damage be, Aline?
It would be 14.
I think
No, it'd be 15. Apologies. A D8 plus 7.
Don't apologize. That's great.
That's excellent.
I am trying to look it up real quickly, but I think we're just going to say it's 15 for now, because I feel like why would they change that? Sorry, learning about Gamma World. Yeah, I think it's max damage. So 15 damage to Rocketbot A.
15 damage to Rocketbot. Additionally, Rocketbot A is granting combat advantage, and Rocketbot A has -2 to attack.
All right. I will also tell you, Rocketbot A is having a bad day at this point, having taken some fear effects. And
you had a
Rocketbot
bad
A
day.
looks like it's having some major structural issues
I'm sorry, Rocketbot.
as Rocketbot A contemplates the horror that is Y2K.
More like Rocket Butt A, am I right?
No.
Okay.
Atifa, anything
No.
else?
I think I'm good. I feel okay with this turn.
All right. Bobobob.
I'm going to roll for mental push. It's going to be 16.
What is the range on that?
20. Let me move first. now I'm rolling for that. Pretend
right.
that happened
Ow!
first.
That was the back of my head.
Let's see, 16. That's going to be 21 versus Will.
And who are you targeting?
Oh, sorry. Carlos the Hoop, please.
All right. He sneers at you as you hit him.
Dang it!
No, because you hit him. He did not.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
he's
thought it was
sneering,
like a
sneering in displeasure as you mentally push him.
So that's 3 psychic damage. And then he makes an attack against a creature of my choice. Let's hit Rocket Butt B.
All right, so Carlos sneers at you and then takes like a twinge in his head. His little rabbit ears kind of flip, and will strangely fire his sniper rifle at Rocketbot B. That's what you're having him do?
Yes, please.
He rolls a unnatural 20, so that's not great for Rocketbot B. And you guys love it when you make my characters damage each other, don't you?
Yep.
It is the most fun thing.
Rocketbot B catches a sniper rifle round right in the side of its plated armor. And Rocketbot B, several of its little diodes kind of blink angrily in the direction of Carlos the Hoop.
Carlos the Hoop sounds like a really bad gangster name from like the 30s.
Yeah, see, Carlos the Hoop, yeah?
Yep, just like that.
Exactly.
Just like that. That's all I'm going to do for now, except, of course, play with my dump truck because I was successful.
From all
It's a
right.
reward.
So, it is the Rocketbot's turns. The Rocketbots, both, you can see little rockets kind of plop down into the rocket launchers, and they both fire in your direction. Now, the dangerous thing about rocket launchers in an enclosed space, such as this, is that they're going to do some area damage, and you are all super clustered. So,
We're
Yeah.
a super cluster.
yeah. So I think one of them is going to target E84 and one of them is going to target Bobobob because basically, you know, one cluster will hit 3 out of 4 of you. Hey, Whiting, I saw that. Whiting. You can scamper away on your turn, but until then. Let's see. This is real bad.
Oh,
You
good.
always, you guys love it when I say that. That's that always foretells something great. So let's see. So let's do this first one. So this is going to target Bobobob.
Okay.
This is versus Reflex. So that was 14 versus Reflex. Atifa,
14 versus
27 versus Reflex, and
Way better than that.
E84, 24 versus Reflex.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a hit.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So you did you all get hit?
I
Yeah.
am pretty sure. Let me just double check.
All right. So
Oh,
the
yeah.
rocket fires right at Bobobob's feet, and there is a good size explosion. As all of you in that little cluster take 15 damage. It's fire damage if it matters. You're also going to be pushed or slid by this, actually. So, Atifa, you and Bobobob get thrown off the platform
Shoot.
onto the slope in the direction of.
Now, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You'd think we'd be blasted backward.
Well,
Yeah,
it's like at your
physics are
feet,
weird.
so you're like flung all around the room. So yeah, you get blasted up and then find yourself falling down.
I have a quick
Yeah.
question. Where is Rocketbot A located? Is it hovering like over the slope, or is it standing?
Rocketbot A and B are hovering. They have little repulsor lifts.
Okay, so they are like over the sloped area.
Yep.
So if somebody were, say, trying to stand there, they probably would have some difficulty staying in that spot.
If you were standing where Rocketbot A was?
Yes.
Rocketbot A is big enough that I don't think you can occupy the same square as Rocketbot A.
No, but I mean, if, someone were to say switch places with Rocketbot A.
You would be, a little bit over a slope when you switch places with them. This is a very strange hypothetical question, but I'm entertaining it. Just, mind your P's and Q's, counselor.
I'm entertained by it.
You would be, a couple feet in the air, but not a lot. You would be over a slope. So that could be exciting.
Possibly with a chance to sort of catch the edge of the lip of the flat ground.
This is a hypothetical inside, a hypothetical, but yeah, I'd say there's a chance.
Huh.
Is this something that's happening now that we need to figure out?
Well, I'm not sure just how many risks I want to take here, because that's the placement of the rocket bot is not ideal.
It's still early morning in Edmonton, right? How many risks do you want to take before lunch? See,
the problem is I'm pretty sure Rocketbot B is also going to fire, and if I get hit like that again, I'm just going to go down. So I feel like taking myself out of this spot. I think, I am going to activate my my alpha mutation,
which I do not know what it does yet.
Reflexive teleport.
Oh.
It is an immediate interrupt, range 10.
So a new little gadget has come online in E84 that you did not even know was part of your original design.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, I am within 10 of it. So the trigger is you're hit by an attack. And I was just hit by an attack. So I roll an attack at it, and if I hit the target, I actually teleport, swapping positions with Rocketbot A.
Which would also put Rocketbot A, in addition to you'd no longer be in a nice little cluster, Rocketbot A would find himself in an unfortunate situation of next to a vampire cat.
Yeah, and also about to be hit by a rocket from Rocketbot B, probably, since they're going at the same time.
You love it. So,
but this is only if I hit, and it's versus will, so
that's a robot's lowest defense usually.
Okay, so that's attack level. Let's see, level is 2 plus 3 is 5 plus will, which is 16. That's 21 versus will.
Plenty. Okay, so what's happening now? Does Rocketbot take damage?
Yes, it's, let's see, triggering attack hits the target instead and misses me if I'm out of range. So I actually wouldn't take the original. Did
you just teleport Rocketbot into its own rocket?
I did. That is what happened.
That's incredible.
Gosh. So let's rewind a second.
I'm over here being a mudslide, and you've got this awesome
let's just rewind a second. Rocketbot A has fired a rocket. Bobobob and Atifa are caught a little flat-footed or mud-footed. E84, however, looks at Rocketbot A, kind of makes a little robotic eye contact with it, and flips to suddenly be in the air where Rocketbot A was. Rocketbot A is disoriented as Rocketbot A is now where the missile is about to hit. And Rocketbot A is hit by its own missile. Correct?
Yes.
Now,
so it takes those 15 points of damage instead.
All right. So Bobobob and Atifa were still hit by the explosion and thrown into the
pit.
Because
it says the triggering attack hits the target instead, but it doesn't say only hits the target instead.
Nope. Right. So I will tell you, Rocketbot A is obliterated by its own rocket.
Yay!
I see it go in front of me and go, ha! Oh, you're already dead.
So, now, E84, we've got a couple things to figure out here because a lot has happened in this split second. E84, you're a couple feet up in the air, but you're a tough level 2 Gamma World robot. Falling a couple feet is nothing to you. I think you need to do an acrobatics check to basically catch the lip of that platform that you just appeared next to.
All right, here goes something. That is 11. on acrobatics.
All right, I am going to say that is enough. What were you attempting to do? You're just trying to grab the edge?
Yeah, like basically take my metallic robotic fingers and just like jam them into the floor just so that I don't
Okay.
slide down into
Yes.
the pit.
You-
I probably
so-
land on my butt still.
I think you're okay with your you've got one of your many robot appendages grabs the thing there, and you are standing
wall.
on a slope, which feels a little precarious, but you are not sliding down the pit.
Wait, did you just say multiple appendages?
Doesn't I thought E84 we've established that
No.
robot has a variety. E84 has a variety of things that can do things. No.
I don't have
remember-
the extra arms anymore. I did
Okay.
have extra arms for a while.
Bob
Those
Bob
are
is
gone.
violently nauseated by extra appendages.
All right. Well, when I say extra, I meant more than one. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
As people often do.
Yeah, don't be normative. So
Because one is normal and two is...
that's decadent.
okay.
All right. So, all right. I think we've resolved everything that happens with the 84. That was an interesting thing that happened on Rocketbot's turn. Now, Atifa,
That one was fun.
you were blown by an explosion. You took some pretty serious damage from that, and the explosion knocked you onto this slope. I want you to do an acrobatic check to not fall down the slope.
Or could she do an acrobatics check to like continue in the same direction she was going to sort of land at that little spot where she's like wedged up against the edge and safe? I'm just thinking that might be an easier
That
thing.
part is also sloped, I'll tell you. So it's all sloped.
But I mean, the spot right here, like
Yep.
it doesn't matter that it's. I mean, there's a wall she could like land against, right? Or or am I reading this map wrong?
It's still sloped down. So roll an
Isn't that a
acrobatics
wall
check.
she'd be wedged against?
It's still. I'm gonna say it still slopes. It's probably more of a bowl shape in the middle. Does that help?
I guess I'm just thinking that like there's no
You can
lasers
plant your
that can
feet
hit you
and
there.
yeah,
Yeah,
plant
you
your
could.
feet and lean in and
And there's no lasers there. You'd certainly have cover from. Well, let's see how you do on your acrobatics. That'll make all the difference.
I rolled a 16 and my modifier's 4, so I got 20.
All right, you land effortlessly on the ramp. Would you like to basically slide into cover there? As
Would I
Erica?
if Carlos and Rocketbot B stay where they are, can I still hit
Yes.
them? Okay, yeah, let's do that.
So, Atifa, you land effortlessly on the slope and actually kind of slide and scoot into this little alcove next to the big giant mesh of lasers. So now I will tell you, it's still the footing here is definitely it's still slanted, and you're gonna have to do some acrobatics. Basically, every time you start your turn, there is to keep from sliding into the mesh of lasers. So
Okay.
you got that going for you. Bob, how you doing?
Well, let's see.
Let's see some acrobatics. From
Ah, a natural 20.
all right, so you managed to land it makes a bit of a sloshing noise as you land
Blah, blah, blah.
right there on the 45-degree angle of the trench, but you're okay. Well, so that was Robot A's turn, who is dead. A lot happened on that turn. Robot B, I said they were both firing missiles in your direction, but Robot B is now scanning the battlefield because a lot has changed since Robot A took its single action. And I think Robot B is going to determine that Bobobob Joe is the most impending threat to his programming, and is going to fire a missile at Bobobob Joe. So this is versus reflex. 26 versus reflex.
Oh, yes, that will hit. What a surprise.
You will take 14 damage, and you get slid down the pit.
Oh no.
Okay, well, I'm at -1
Okay.
with that 14 damage. Yeah, that's...
All right. Bobobob slides down into the pit where there are lasers playing back and forth. And he's getting zapped. This is not good. So we'll find out what happens, because that's real bad.
Bye.